morning, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of SCZ Live at 10 o'clock today. We're so excited to be here with you because this is a special day. We have a brand new species coming into the Tropics building, and I'm here with Carter today, one of our bird keepers who is going to help us learn all about our release today. So Carter, tell us what we're going to get to see.
So, we are in a section of the Tropics building that is not really open to the public. These are called our Howdy Cages. So when we get a new species of bird into the building, we don't just release them immediately into the building. Because there's a lot of new sights and sounds that they would have to be exposed to, we like them to have a place that they can get comfortable for a while before we release them into the main part of the building. So up here we currently have 19 Sunda Parrot Finches. They're a small species of finch about 3 inches long that are native to several islands in Indonesia. Think about like Borneo, Sumatra, that sort of area of the world. And they've been up here for about a week and a half. They came to us from Houston Zoo, and they have just been getting comfortable, getting used to all the sounds in the building, all the other birds. And today is a momentous day. We're going to be releasing them out into the building.
That's great. I'm going to step over here, Carter, to see if we can get a better view of them.
Of course.
They are small and they are fast, so I also did post a picture already on our zoo's website page, but I'll also show you a picture in just a minute. But you can certainly see, Carter, that even when these birds are all released, boy, it's just like a rainbow blur as they go by.
Yes, these will be the smallest birds in the building once they're released, so we're going to have to be very cognizant of where they are at all times. Luckily, they all have individual leg bands, so we will be able to identify them. And they tend to be somewhat of a flocking species, so if we see one, we'll probably see a few of them together.
So here is a picture of what you can look for when you're in the tropics.
Yeah.
You can see those beautiful, the blues and the greens and the teals, and even that red back near the edge of their tail.
Yeah, another name for them is the tricolored parrotfinch because of that main color scheme of blue, green, and red.
And you said we will be calling them the Sunda Parrotfinch.
Sunda Parrotfinches.
Okay.
That comes from the Sunda Islands, which are the island chain that they are native to.
That makes sense. And there's 19 of them. Now you mentioned the bands. Maybe as some of them fly around, you might be able to see a few of those bands. How do those bands help us then as zookeepers be able to identify the different birds?
So each individual bird has an individual color combination of bands. So that is connected to their ID number that we have. There's a global database of ID numbers for animals in zoos, and these guys are no different. They have an individual number for each of them. So as long as we know which one has which band color, we know which one is which. And if we ever need to change their bands, or if one of them loses a band and we notice, then we just update that on their records in ZIMS is the program that we use.
And how often do we do a census here in the building?
So we do a census of the entire building once a year, at the beginning of the year in January usually. And that involves actually closing down the building for periods of the day, and we set up what are called mist nets, which are large, very fine mesh nets that kind of span an area of between trees. So when birds are flying through, they can't see that net because it's so fine meshed, and they will get caught in that, get slightly tangled up, not enough to hurt them, and then we rush in, we untangle them from the net, and then we're able to see who we've got. We usually have a vet on hand with us so that they can look at them, make sure that they're doing well, and treat anything that needs to be treated. So on our last census, we got 95% of our birds in the net, and the rest of them we were able to observe in the building. So we are sure of who we have in the building, and that helps us keep track because there are a lot of birds. There are about 230 birds in the building.
You know, Carter, I always think that the bird keepers have one of the most difficult jobs, just trying to keep track of everybody. It's pretty easy to see a giraffe or an elephant.
Yes, you need an eye for detail when you're a bird keeper, especially in an open air aviary like this.
And this is so beautiful because, as you said, there's so many species in this building. And again, one of the things that I often encourage people to do is come into the building and sit on that very first bench and just get acclimated. Give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes to just start to listen and watch, and that's going to allow you to see a whole lot more birds.
Yes, because a lot of people don't realize we have as many birds out here as we do. Like these parrot finches, a lot of them are fairly small, and they sometimes tend to be a little more cryptic. They hang out up in the trees and the bushes. So I always encourage people, to slow down, listen, look and you'll eventually see how much diversity of species we have out here.
Now, what about the conservation value of the Sunda Parrot Finch? Are they an animal that is stable, or are they an animal that is, needs more care?
Luckily, they have a stable population in the wild, but they come from an area of the world that is in a lot of trouble. Down in Indonesia, there's a lot of deforestation happening, a lot of habitat loss. A lot of that is due to planting palm oil plantations. So the oil palm is a tree that's native to Western Africa, and it is the oil that comes in its fruits is used in all sorts of things: shampoo, baking goods, snack foods, all sorts of things. So
that's a really good point. You can help so many species.
Yes.
Just by watching your palm oil and making sure that you're purchasing only that animal-friendly palm oil products.
Yes, finding palm oil products that come from a sustainable source is imperative, and that directly helps animals like this and a lot of the birds that we have in this building.
And our friends at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo have done a great job to make that so much easier for you. If you go to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo website, you can download a palm oil app, which will allow you to know what companies are using more sustainable practices for their palm oil and what companies are not.
Yep, I use it almost every time I'm at the grocery store.
That's a great idea, and you know, something so simple that we can do for conservation to help these, amazingly beautiful animals that we share our planet with.
Yes, if everybody does their little part, little things add up, just like all the little birds add up into one big flock. We can do great things if we all just work together.
All right, are you ready for this release?
Ready.
I'm going to have to move aside here just a little bit so Carter can get by me. I'm going to go ahead and stand here in a corner, and Carter's going to open the door.
So it might not be immediate, but they're pretty fast, so they'll probably come out soon.
This is a release of a brand new species here at Sedgwick County Zoo, the Sunda Parrot Finch. We've got a couple of them that are looking and thinking right now. This door being open is a brand new thing for them. We've had them here for a couple of weeks, just getting used to and acclimating to the building, making sure that they recognize the other birds in the building and have a comfort zone. So Carter's opening a second door here and is going to kind of just help them move this way. So I'm going to be a little quieter so that my voice doesn't bother them. There goes one.
So sometimes when we're up here with them, they're a little shy, but I did see a couple of them head out. So over the course of the day, they'll probably all disperse throughout the building, and we'll definitely be keeping track of them to make sure they're doing okay on their first day out.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today as we released our Sunda Parrot Finches to the building. Again, we have had a few fly out, but some of them are a little bit more apprehensive because we're standing here. So we'll give them just another moment, and then we will go ahead and give them some privacy, and we'll report back on them later and let you know how they're doing for the day. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us on SCZ Live at 10 o'clock today. Have a great day.